And we're starting with the major historic breaking news that's unfolding right now. I'm Wolf Blitzer in New York. Here's the latest developments on this major breaking news that we're following, breaking news in Iran. American bombers have struck three, not one, not two, but three nuclear sites, major nuclear sites inside Iran. Those sites, Fordo, Isfahan, and Natanz. They're considered the heart of Iran's nuclear ambitions. Israel had tried to target them in the past, but a U.S. official tells CNN that the U.S. used not one, not two, but 6 B-2 bombers and 12 bunker buster bombs. And that was just at the Fordo site. And just a short time ago, the White House posted these photos on social media. They appear to show President Trump in the White House Situation Room, along with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Vice President J.D. Vance. Sources tell CNN that the U.S. Told Iran through back-channel discussions that the strikes would be contained and no further strikes were planned, at least not yet.
The strikes were a spectacular military success.
President Donald Trump addressing the nation, announcing the United States had, in his words, successfully hit Iranian nuclear sites.
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
3 sites were targeted: Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. American B-2 bombers were used in the weekend operation. Sources say the strikes involved so-called bunker buster bombs, 30,000-pound bombs with 6,000 pounds of explosives. It's believed to be the only ordnance able to reach deeply buried facilities, and it's the first known instance of the bomb being used in a military strike.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
Trump had been weighing military action for days. American officials had said the president preferred finding a diplomatic solution to the Israel-Iran conflict, but only if the Iranians were more forthcoming towards negotiations and willing to make significant concessions. Thursday, the president gave himself 2 weeks to make a decision. 2 days later, as attacks continued between Israel and Iran, the president ordered the U.S. strikes. Saturday night, Trump saying now is the time to make a deal.
There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Iran is deeply condemning the U.S.'s strikes on several of its nuclear installations. The country's Atomic Energy Agency has come out and called the strikes a savage assault. They also say that it goes against international law, and the Atomic Energy Agency also vows to not let Iran's nuclear program be stopped by these strikes. They also accuse the International Atomic Energy Agency of complicity in all of this. Now, Iranian officials took quite a while to come out and confirm that strikes had actually taken place on these facilities. It was then local officials in the area of Qom, where the Fordo nuclear installation is located, and in the Isfahan province, where the Isfahan nuclear installation and also the Natanz nuclear enrichment facility are located, to come out and say that there were what they call intrusions into the airspace near those facilities. They also said that air defenses in both of these facilities had been activated, but explosions in those facilities took place. Now, the Iranians have not yet come out and confirmed the extent of the damage or if any damage was done to these nuclear facilities. They have not said so yet. It appears as though the Iranians are still trying to assess the damage that happened there. One of the things that we've been seeing in the evening hours is air defenses here over the Iranian capital, Tehran, very much active. There were also some thuds that we heard, which could have come from airstrikes, but that is unclear. But we did see a lot of those bursts in the air, especially from anti-aircraft guns. That's something that we've been seeing over the past couple of days, but which was pronounced much more so in the past night. The Iranians have, of course, warned that any sort of strikes by the United States could bring severe retaliation on the part of the Iranians. Of course, in the past, they have said that they do control a lot of militias here in the region that are loyal to Iran, that are on Iran's side, and many of which are near U.S. bases in the Middle East. Nevertheless, the Iranians have never really defined what exactly retaliation could be. Fred Pleitgen, CNN, Tehran.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fوردو, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America. Thank you very much.